One of my biggest pet peeves at a trade show is when brands treat every attendee like a lead before they've earned their attention. We've all experienced it. You walk into a trade show booth, and before you've even had a moment to look around, immediately, can I scan your badge? Or they go to grab for it and scan it. Most attendees hate it. I hate it. And honestly, most brands aren't getting the results they think they are either. So let's take a moment to talk about a better way to capture leads without annoying people. Number one, most lead capture happens too early. Think about it. Brands are going to ask for that information before they've created the value. We just talked about badge scans. Then there's the old-fashioned business card bull where they're trying to get you to put your business card in, trying to get you to sign a form, put your email address in, put your name on it. We're all sitting there thinking, I don't even know who you are yet. Why am I going to give you this information? Let's think about it compared to a real life scenario, right? You wouldn't walk up to someone at a networking event and immediately ask for all their personal information before even introducing yourself, would you? So lead capture works best after interest, not before it. You go up to someone at a networking event, you're not going to just immediately ask them for their information. You're going to talk to them, see if you actually want their information. You're going to qualify them. And then you're going to ask for their information once they trust you, once you've created mutual value there. Lead capture works best after there's mutual interest, not before. Point two, give people a reason to engage. What I mean by that is create value and people will engage. They will trade the information you want, their data, for value. Some examples that we love using are headshot booths, AI headshot booths, professional portraits, personalized content, printed takeaways, interactive experiences, even useful resources. But that's going to make the attendee way more willing to give up their information, to give you their information. We all know why you want it. It's remarketing information. If you provide value, someone is going to be way more likely to give you their information because they want to work with you and they want to continue to hear from you. The best lead capture doesn't feel like lead capture. It feels like an exchange, the beginning of a friendship, the beginning of a conversation between two. Point three, participation creates better data. Just like I said earlier with the walking up to someone at a networking event, I don't necessarily want their information. What if they turn out to be really annoying and now we've already exchanged information, right? So the core idea here is that we want to engage attendees. We want to provide stronger signals about ourselves, receive stronger information from them, and determine if we are qualified leads for one another. It may sound obvious, but I think it's worth saying an engaged attendee is going to provide a stronger signal and thus a better lead. Not all leads are equal. Someone who's just popped into the booth for a freebie, someone who's walked by and just got attracted to something in the booth, someone who you've scanned their badge, we don't know that they are qualified, versus someone who's come in and engaged. They spent 3 minutes talking to you during the photo booth experience. They've participated in the experience. They've shared content. They've asked you questions. The second person is going to tell you so much more about themselves. I don't know about you, but I'd rather have 100 engaged participants than scanning 1,000 badges in exchange for candy, right? Let's talk about the fourth point. The event data matters more than the contact data. And what I mean about that is most brands collect names. Smarter brands are collecting behavior. So think about this. We want to know what the attendees are engaged with, what content they've selected, how long they've interacted, what they've shared. Here's a real life example. For Comic-Con, we work with a distributor. They distribute different types of movies. They have some horror, they have some comedy, they have some thriller, some sci-fi. And at the event, guests get to choose an experience, right? And based on what they've chosen, they can deduce that someone may be into sci-fi or someone may be into horror. And that's how they re-engage with their guests, right? So what are attendees engaging with? What content are they selecting? What are they creating? How long have they interacted? Did they share something? This is where you can really start to get to know your leads, right? And that's what our event analytics are for. We're going to track engagement. We're going to track participation, views, the items that they selected. Have they opted in or opted out of different things? A name is going to tell you who someone is, but behavior is going to tell you what they're interested in. Point five, we want to think about after the event as well. So lead capture isn't the goal, relationships are. Many trade show exhibitors think, did we get the lead? Did we scan the badge? The better question is, did we start the relationship? How are we going to follow up? How are we going to nurture? How are we going to engage in an ongoing manner? The event is really just the beginning. An example of this could be if you're at the event working the photo booth, you're going to meet a ton of people there, right? At the event, we do email them their photo or text message them their photo, but you have in a CSV the attendee, the time that they came, the selections that they made, their email address, and their image. So when you get back to the office after the conference or the trade show, naturally the next step is to email your whales, those folks that are great leads, and say, hey, it was so nice meeting you. I love that photo of you from the event. Here's a link again, or I've attached it for you just to make sure you have it. That's the way to keep your foot in the door. Sales is all about getting your foot in that door and slowly opening the door up a little bit more. So we want to make sure that we are building relationship. We're using the photo experience or the video experience or the AI photo booth or the headshot, whatever the value we're providing is, to create the beginning of the conversation. Remember that the best events don't end when the attendees walk away from your booth. So point 6, how do we think about it at OutSnapped, right? So participation first, data second. Our philosophy at OutSnapped is not we collect emails. It's we create an incredible experience that people want to participate in. And as a result, the data becomes a natural outcome, not the objective. We'll, of course, work with you for your KPIs. If your KPIs are to collect X number of email addresses, we'll reverse engineer that to create an incredible experience that's going to do that. The other thing we love doing with our smart clients is creating an email with a call to action that is going to bring them up to speed on the brand. And another example of this is you can have your photo or video experience really look like your brand, even to the email that they receive. So when they do get that next email from you, they're already familiar with your brand. One of the side effects of a photo experience is that we get to send communication to a guest, whether that's an email or a text message. We can design that experience so it looks and feels like your brand, so that the next time guests interact with your brand, whether it's via email campaign or out in the wild, they're going to be significantly more likely to engage. Remember, when someone enjoys the experience, sharing their information feels natural. When they don't, it does feel like a transaction. So if you're planning a trade show, a conference, or a brand activation, please remember people do not attend events to become leads. I'm going to say that one more time. I know it's super important for you to make them leads, but it's important to remember that people do not attend to become a lead. They attend an event to learn, to connect, to discover, and experience something incredible or new. The brands that respect that tend to capture better leads, gather better event data, and ultimately generate better event ROI. So if you're interested in collaborating with us at OutSnap, please find us in the contact information below and share what you're looking to do, and let's go from there.